What you guys have on your paper is finding the slope. It's a verbal description. At the bottom of your paper, you guys have a word blank where you can use the words more than once. You should have already gone through and filled this in. Now, let's see if we got the right terms that go in there. It says the rate of change from a table of a linear function is the same thing as and it should be the slope of a graph of a linear function. So the rate of change, when you're looking at the rate of change in your table, that's the same as the slope on your graph. Our slope tells us the number of units the y value increases or decreases each time the x increases by 1 unit. I guess I used the letter 1, or I mean the word 1. 1 unit. It is the ratio. It is the ratio of the change in the independent values as related to the change in the dependent values. Again, this is just telling you that the slope is the y over the x, the change in y over the change in x. Okay, it's telling you that it's the change of the independent values related to the dependent. Then we should have gotten, looking down here, it should be the slope of the line can be found by starting at any point on the line and counting the number of units up or down. You must move, and then the number of the units left or right, you must move to get another point on the line. Basically what it's telling you, when you move to the right, that is a positive move. When you move down or to the left, that is a negative move. Another way to say the change up or down in the graph is the vertical change. You make sure you know that vertical means up and down. And when we can write that in symbols by just saying delta y. Then it says another way to say the change left or right in a graph is the horizontal change, or the change in the x's. We can write that with the symbols delta x, the change in x. Now it says about the intercepts. The blank can be found by looking at where the graph crosses the y-axis. That should be the y-intercept. All the y-intercepts in the tables and the graphs have an x-coordinate of 0. Anytime you talk about a y-intercept, the x number is always 0. The x-intercept can be found by looking at where the graph crosses the line, looking at where the graph of the line crosses the x-axis. The x-intercepts in the tables and graphs have a y-coordinate of 0. Okay, so if it crosses the x-axis, so if I have my line, wherever it crosses right here on the x-axis, that y number is 0 because it's not going up or down. You may want to sketch and make sure that you have your y-intercept as well, understanding where those are. Your y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis, the x-intercept where it crosses the x-axis. Writing a linear function equation from a graph. To write a linear function rule from the graph of a line, you must determine the slope and the y-intercept. Those are the two important pieces, slope and the y-intercept. Once the slope and y-intercept are found, you can write the equation in slope-intercept form of the linear function. That's y equals mx plus b. We've talked about this. M represents the slope. B represents the y-intercept. The x and y in the equation are just the coordinates of any point on the line.